for some time. And an old friend working in the powers has tipped me off about a rather promising man.
Cool. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. I would usually do a big speech about how we're raising money for special effects, but we don't have time for that anymore. So I'm just going to hand it over to Beckski. Give me a countdown and let's get this party started.
Can you hear me okay? All right, so let's just get started then. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, hold on here. So this is Tomb Raider Legend. This is the first game in the soft reboot of Tomb Raider games.
An ornate stone death.
And the first one by Crystal Dynamics. Oh.
My control's not quite right there. Is it this one?
I think so.
There we go. Okay, we're good, we're good. I need to be able to put my weapons away. So this game is just as glitchy as the other Tomb Raiders. Probably more glitchy.
Oh, well.
Great. Good start. So here I'm trying to skip a whole platforming section by using the rope. If I get the angle right, I should be able to hit the top of this rock. I need to make sure the wall can push me up. There we go.
There we go.
So in this game we can airwalk, and the majority of the game is done via airwalk. So to airwalk, whenever you stumble on the edge of a ledge and pull your guns out at the same time, Lara will be able to airwalk as long as you keep holding in a movement key. And that's the principle of airwalk. And
it helps to skip a lot of the levels.
Skip the majority of the game via this glitch, yeah. And we can gain height by rolling up against walls, like so. And when we do this, we can skip enemy triggers and go out of bounds. So right now, there would normally be some enemies that I would trigger there, but
I like to call it the snowman tactic because we're walking in the air.
Yeah. I also need to hit certain load triggers for, because the adjacent rooms will have collision, but they'll have no textures. So sometimes I need to hit load triggers to make sure I can see where I'm going. Like here, for example, I need to hit a trigger so we can see the rest of the level.
It's like a ghost in the machine.
Yeah. And if I jump, I fall out of airwalk, so... Oh, that was a cutscene I could skip.
Looks like you're going forward. Yes, but how?
With patience and persistence.
So this is meant to be a puzzle platformer game, and we skip basically all of the puzzles and the platforming, unfortunately, so it becomes a bit of an action run.
Who's got time for puzzles, you know?
Yeah, we ain't got no time for that.
Exactly.
We're speedrunners.
It's the end that's important.
This game also has QTEs, so if I get this wrong, I would trigger a QTE, but we skip the QTE. I'm sorry for that, because I know everybody loves the QTE.
QTE is the most popular edition, sure.
Yeah. Is this the first Tomb Raider game to have QTE?
Yeah, it was, yeah. I think there was kind of experimenting within the code days, but it was Crystal Dynamics was the first ones to put QTEs in the Tomb Raider series, really.
Yeah.
And there's quite a few of them through this first trilogy of the Crystal Dynamics games.
So this is where the action comes into play. So we are looking for an artifact which is Excalibur?
Yeah, basically.
But someone else is also looking for it. Well, a group of people are because it gives you some magical powers. And along the way during this game, we have to fight a lot of mercenaries. So it's basically an action game. And it's very RNG heavy because of this. So you get these guys hiding behind walls. And it's really annoying.
It's like skip, 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 skip.
Skip, 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 yeah.
But hey, I guess it's payback for us skipping most of the rest of the level by floating across the top of it.
Yeah, that's the price we pay. And obviously the fastest way to get around when we're in Airwalk is to just forward roll, so...
Oh,
see me doing a lot of that.
bullet there.
Need to collect a couple of grenades here if I can.
So a very cheeky guard at the end, trying to stop you getting
Ow!
the bike.
And then we have a compulsory bike sequence. So just enjoy the tunes, I guess.
Is this a good time for donations?
This is a great time, yeah.
Brilliant. We've got a few that ran over from the last one. Didn't have a chance to say them because we were in a bit of a rush. Tiny Tim, £100.
Oh!
I've had the most fantastic time at UKSM so far. This is for the amazing Nost. It has been an honour and a privilege to meet you. Cheers. Yumi, £10. World record, world record, world record. Smash Feed, £10. Good luck on your run tonight. I've been waiting for this all day since your Tomb Raider 2 run, which was an utter shambles. But we still got your back. Me and Jess are rooting for you in the Discord voice
Yo,
call.
thank you.
Then Ozita, £5. Tomb Raider, continuously proving that walls are just suggestions. Suggestions.
Yeah.
That brings our grand total up to £1,264.90.
Nice.
Oh yeah, round of applause for that. And yeah, congrats on the world record. That is pretty damn
It's
impressive.
really good.
I hate to follow that, to be honest, but I ain't going to be getting any world records today.
But we will see some very interesting speedrunning
This is an interesting run. It's not for everybody. It's very glitchy. A lot of the game is out of bounds, as I said earlier, so...
It's quite funny during the core runs that you mentioned earlier, we said that those games are pretty glitchy. And you'd think that as time goes on, the games will get less glitchy.
It's the opposite. They get even worse. And the newer games from 2013 are even glitchier again, I think. I think you can airwalk in those games too, but I don't run them.
It's like using more elaborate ways of hiding some of the levels. And so before the walls were suggestions, now the walls, ceiling, floor, just about any piece of geometry is a suggestion, really.
Yeah, this run would be super short if it weren't for these compulsory bike sections as well. So this one isn't too bad. I mean, it's got a nice tune to go along with it, and I quite enjoy it. The second one in Nepal, not Nepal. Where's the second one? Kazakhstan?
I think so, yeah.
That one's really annoying. It's really, really long. And for these bike sections, you have to obviously kill the mercenaries as fast as possible. Otherwise, the map infinitely respawns. Don't want that. And for a marathon run, I wouldn't worry about the section for a PB attempt. Some hype stuff going on over there. But yeah, for a marathon run, this section is really easy, especially because we're playing on easy mode.
It's just basically a really bad day in traffic for a Lara, isn't it? We're trying to get through here. Of course, they also did a deal with Ducati motorcycles, so the motorcycles are officially licensed, if that's important to you.
Yeah. Did they do one with Jeep as well?
Yeah,
That's a lot of
Jeep was another brand that was in there, for sure. And of course, these are the first Tomb Raiders that had Keely Hawes as Lara's voice.
Keely Hawes, yeah.
Big fan of Keely Hawes here.
She did a lot of Tomb Raider games actually.
Yeah, she did the Legend, Anniversary, and Underworld, and then also the two spin-off games, Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris.
I'll pretend that cheering's for me. So now this is a little flashback sequence. We excavated this site when we were younger, so we're in classic Lara outfit right now. And we're seeing the shit went down here, basically. Sorry to swear, but...
Stuff went bad.
So in this section we don't have pistols, but we can airwalk with a flare instead. And it's pretty much the same except for the fact that flares only last like 5 seconds or so. So you have to be quite quick with the airwalks.
God.
Lara, over here.
Which can be a little tricky, but...
And of course, there's this Tomb Raider, like without the grid system, they introduced a lot more physics-based puzzles. Physics were all the rage, obviously, when this came out. And it was just on the cusp between
Can't skip this.
Xbox 360 and the PS2.
Amanda, wait! Kent! Kent White Knight in there. So yeah, now we get this really weird camera angle where we're being chased by this monster. And I'm going to try and do a trick which is kind of difficult. Don't think I'll get it. No, I didn't get it. You can get an airwalk there and it's slightly faster. It saves like maybe 10 seconds. But the camera angle's so awkward. It is quite difficult to do.
It's kind of a trade-off, isn't it? It's like, got rid of the grid system, but then it does mean that because the camera's a bit more fluid, it can get stuck a bit easier in some of the geometry.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the end of the flashback sequence.
So, how you getting in?
The same way as the water, I hope.
So now we're back in present day Peru.
I'm a little concerned about leaving about this now.
I'll keep her company.
Good time for a donation?
Yeah.
Adam, £10. Hi from the audience. Hi, Adam.
Our donation is very appreciated. Special Effects is a fantastic charity. They do a lot of really good work for accessibility in games, producing such things like specialist controllers for people who can't usually hold controllers, and their work is absolutely fantastic, so it's a very worthy cause.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm glad we can see the health bar and oxygen this time.
I can see the health bar this time.
Very helpful.
That is pretty helpful. Because this is on easy mode, we can... Generally, health is not an issue in this run, so... I wouldn't even really need to see the health bar, but we got it anyway.
Quite generous that it just lets you
It's
get to
very
the cutscene
generous
and then
on
be
you.
like, "Well, wasn't you drowning a second ago?" No, I stopped the cutscene, so it's fine. Bit more airwalking now, isn't it?
Yeah, we're back in our walk.
A youth unaware of his royal blood rises from obscurity to become a wise...
So normally there would be a QT on the left here where the floor would collapse, but I'm going to skip that by going up here instead.
Culture share similar legends?
And then I'm going to try and do a fall damage cancel on my way
When
down.
they were building these death traps, they didn't consider that there would be an explorer just floating through the air.
So we can shoot these boulders. We have 3 boulders that we can place on the platforms. I don't know who built these ancient structures, but they're quite impressive.
It must have impressed the villagers back then.
And I'm going to try a strat that is quite tricky with the grenade. I don't know if I'll get this. So we can shoot this boulder down with the grenade, and it saves us from climbing. That might do it. Yeah, there we go.
Yes, nicely done.
Didn't quite roll where I wanted it to, but that's okay.
That boulder has been
back.
the cause of a pain of a few runs, hasn't it, before in the past?
I've lost a lot of runs to that, yeah.
So the shaman would be Merlin.
I think this game is like mostly cutscene.
Pretty much.
There's a lot of cutscenes I have to skip.
Funny name for a sword.
Bongo cat.
Like, this is the way to go, no? But we're not going to do that. We're going to completely ignore the advice.
So the mercenaries are back.
It's all right.
And we're going to escape now because we've checked out. There was a fake Excalibur up there. It shows us that the sword is in pieces that we need to collect.
I do love how Lara there says, I suppose I'll have to take the high ground, and you just make that ever more literal.
Literally, the high ground, yeah. Where am I? Okay, I want to go backwards here to manipulate the AI a little bit. If you go forwards, there's a chance they'll knock you out of the sky, and then you have to shoot them all, which is quite slow.
It's like RNG that you don't want.
Whoa.
And then he pushed you back in, didn't he? What's happened there?
I tried to dive up a slope. I did that at GDQ as well. I don't know why I keep doing that. That's not how physics works.
Science, physics, why do you betray us so?
Okay. So now we have another action sequence where I'm going to try and kill the mercenaries as fast as possible.
Luckily, they don't take too many hits to go down, but they're still quite hardy considering.
It's still annoying. Like, this run is really safe for marathons, I would say. I mean, watch something go dreadfully wrong now, but...
Don't jinx yourself, don't jinx yourself.
Yeah. But for PB attempts, these sections are really rough because it's all RNG. Like, you don't know what these guys are going to do. I've also had a couple times, I've had mercenaries glitch out and sort of skid underneath the map so that I can't kill them. And yeah.
Have you still got an eye?
Good time for a donation?
Yeah, we do have time.
Brilliant. Oh no, what's the refresh button? Stop it. Bardiste, £10. Let's do a shamble percent.
No,
Beckski93.
Thank you.
Oh, shambles.
No shambles.
No shambles.
Okay,
This
now
is
Lara's
Lara.
all fancy.
But the problem is, she's slow when she's fancy.
She's got her heels on. Look at that hair as well. Good old NVIDIA hair works.
I'm sure that's how hair works, right? That's how...
She's got a lot of hairspray in, I think.
It's like someone's just carrying it behind her like a bridal train, just like... Ooh, spooky hair.
Yeah.
Maybe she's
so-
born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Super classy Lara doesn't last for very long. Because then some Japanese mercenaries turn up. Now we have to get rid of these guys. Lara is a mass murderer, by the way.
Before it was animals, now it's just anything with a pulse.
Yeah.
I don't know about this, Lara.
That's why we have to view the problem from a different angle. Namely, the loop. Nishimura gave me the path to the loop, and that was one way.
Ting. So at the top of this lift, there's going to be normally there would be a bike segment, so there's another Ducati. As you can see it there, the little edge of it. We can completely skip the Ducati section though, because we got our walk.
I love the audacity of the concept though. It's like, why not have a motorcycle section on a roof?
Yeah.
Because that's where you find
So
motorcycles.
normally you would go that way, but we can do this and skip the whole section.
Who needs motorcycles when you can just roll across the air?
Very creative, Lara. What's that guy doing? He's doing a shuffle.
He's trying to dance his way in. I came from the party.
Yeah.
It's not like they don't know you're there.
You'll see them when
So another thing that they gave Lara in this game compared to the other ones was 2 helper characters, and that's who you can hear across the radio and stuff, called Zip and Alistair. And it was an effort to make it feel a bit less lonely when you were going through the tombs, because I felt like the original game
Yeah.
was very alone for Lara.
to be outside.
Yeah, they're keeping us company.
What did you think when they got rid of them again for the newer Crystal Dynamics ones? Did you miss them? Or?
I mean, I don't think they would have fit,
No.
I guess, as well. They fit really well in these games, I feel like, but... is a little platforming sequence. I'm going to do a little trick, well, a couple tricks to speed it up a little bit, but I'm basically just trying to climb to the top of the roof. Here.
Meanwhile, the window cleaners are like, what is she doing?
She's a mad woman.
Please don't look down.
Heights don't bother me, Master.
They make me positively nauseous.
Spider-Man's got nothing on Lara at this point.
I'll try my best to keep my
Careful,
shape,
Lara.
but I do need to concentrate, if you don't.
Yep.
It's not gonna hold. Hurry, Lara. They'll slam it.
I have to be quite quick on these pipes because they're going to break otherwise. Spam that space button. I didn't get one quick jump off the bars, that's good.
Still got across in good time. Now here's some wanton antique destruction.
Can you guys just give me a break, please?
See that turret down low?
Just send some more people after you, some sentry turrets, why not, you know.
Better. Let's not do that
So
again.
normally you would use the dragon here to break the window, but we can do a little grenade strat, which is slightly faster.
Straightforward approach.
And then we are coming up to a boss fight at the top of this elevator.
There's, I want to say 3 boss fights in the game, isn't there? Maybe?
Yeah, and each one has a piece of the sword fragment that we're looking for. So Takamoto is probably the most annoying boss. We're going to try and stun lock him with grenades, but if it doesn't work, he's going to run around and around the platform and can be really annoying. There he goes. Whee! Can you come back here, please, sir?
Please come back, we want to ask you some questions about these grenades. Do they sound like they're going to explode to you? Please put your head close to them to check.
There he goes.
Hey.
Dearie me. So first piece of the sword acquired.
One down.
Now to Bolivia.
When I was
Lara's
going
world
over the map,
tour.
Winston said your parents had been there. Your dad worked the site before you were born.
That's not sweet.
And we're back in the air.
That happens occasionally.
This is a really good skip, this one. I do love this one.
We are very high up right now. Look, isn't it pretty though?
Oh yeah.
Looks
Normally you'd do this awesome swan dive off here, but that takes a bit too long, so we're just going to do this.
Yeah, I have quite a tricky fall damage cancel coming up here. Hopefully I can get it.
Take 2.
I needed to be a little further forward there. That's okay though. It's quite tricky because you can't see exactly where you are, you just sort of have to guess. I have a visual for it, but
Practice makes perfect.
I've practiced this a lot.
Yeah.
Particular fall damage cancel. There we go.
There we go.
Thank you. So the fall damage cancel involves when you fall from a really high, tall height out of airwalk, if you switch weapons and grapple before you hit the ground, it negates any fall damage that Lara would take. So that's how we survive those kind of drops. And the timing for it is it's not super tight, but it does need to be close to the ground.
So that that mercenary was going to try a little airwalking then, what he was going for.
Yeah.
I want to do that too.
I believe this level's pretty long, casually, right? There's
Usually,
a lot
yeah,
of stuff
yeah.
to do. It's pretty damn short in the speedrun.
I want to say it's one of the longest in the game, but
Yeah,
I
I think
can't
so.
confirm that.
Time for donos?
Yeah, for sure.
We've got one from Brido, £1.11. Great thing you're doing, keep going. Can you help me find some iron brew? I can't find any. Nathan, £5.10. Hello from the audience. I've been working the show today, so I figured I'd use some of my wages to support a fantastic cause, an incredible runner, and help round off that 90p in the process. Now, unfortunately, that's not worked.
It was
Our grand total is now £1,291 and 11 pence. So, it's 89p.
So if you've got the 89p,
Is this guy stuck right now?
he is very stuck. What is happening
Let's
there?
try and unstick him. So this is another boss fight. Again, we're going to try and stun lock him with grenades if he ever comes down.
There we go.
There we go.
He just really liked the view from up there, and he saw you airwalking. He just thought he'd give it a go himself.
Do you remember the proper way to do that fight, B?
Off the top of my head, I think it's just spamming grenades.
No, so he regenerates height at those
Of course,
pillars.
yeah.
So normally you would have to grapple down the pillar
That's the one.
so that he can't go up there and regen. But obviously if you can stun lock him with grenades, you can just kill him really quickly. Nice.
Again, this is another air attack drone.
This is another really, really high drop that we're going to have to do.
And you skip a massive amount of this level.
You do, yeah. I hope I'm far forward enough. There we go.
Nice. Good landing. Good landing.
Landed us safely.
As long as Lara lands with both legs intact, we're golden.
Whee! Whee!
That guy's just like, what? Oh,
Oh, what just happened?
I didn't expect an attack from the air.
So coming up, another compulsory bike segment. There's that Ducati again.
Yep. Back on the sponsored bikes.
This bit is thrilling, guys. Strap yourselves in.
There's a lot of snow, spoilers.
This is long. This is a really long segment. So this train goes on forever, and we're chasing it. And we're going to have to kill more mercenaries on the way.
They just got a really big train set and they felt they had to use it.
Yeah, there are like 3 phases to this section. So the first phase is just men on bikes, and the second phase introduces jeeps. But honestly, I mean, crazy stuff can happen during this section, but there's not much technique to it. I just need to kill these guys as fast as I can and hope for the best, basically. This is another really heavy RNG section.
And a lot of it sort of, like, it doesn't progress to the next bit until you've killed the previous people anyway, and it'll just keep on spawning them as you go.
Yeah, it just
as well.
keeps, the map just keeps respawning, yeah. We have been discussing in the community doing a no bike segment run because these sections suck.
I mean, if anyone ever finds a skip
Oh
for
my,
all the bike sections, that is going to completely revolutionise.
that would be heaven to me. So that's phase 1 done. These sections, like I say, are pretty easy. The only problem is if I did die, the checkpoints are few and far between. But
Sometimes it can be really specific as well about like what angle that you're on the bike at on some of the jumps.
yeah,
That's
and
like-
some of the tiny, ooh,
I like that. Thanks for the demonstration.
some of the really tiny like humps in the road can send Lara flying, like catapulting through the sky. So you do have to be careful of the bumps in the road, but
I like to call this section the squeaky bum section because you're always hanging on the edge of your pants.
the squeaky bumps.
Is this a good time for donations?
Yes.
You might notice I sound a bit defeated. We'll get into that. Ozita, £8.89. All you had to do was follow the train, CJ. Wait, wrong game. Then Nathan, again, £2.89. Well, since the last attempt failed, let's see if this one works and isn't lost in an 89p train. Combo Smith, £8.89. £1,300. Great cause, great run, great runner. We are now at £1,311. 78p.
Oh, come on, guys, you gotta fix that.
Round numbers are overrated, it's fine. Round numbers are overrated.
That's awesome. Thank you for all these donations. Keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming. This section, it also gives us these gas canisters that are pretty much no use to us. If you get really lucky, you might be able to hit one bike guy with a canister, but for the most part, they are useless.
It's quite funny that the on the cars, if you shoot the gunner, the driver just crashes, which makes you think like, what was the driver doing at the time?
I don't even know. Yeah, because we're not shooting the driver, but he crashes anyway.
It's like, well, I haven't passed my test, but if you stick your head out the window and shoot, I'll be able to keep going. And that's when they realise they should have hired their mercenaries from a better place.
The fun thing is always when sometimes these jeeps can crash into each other and explode. Oh, don't crash into me.
I'm going to say sometimes, yeah, if you're unlucky with the RNG, they can crash into you and knock you off course.
Yeah, they can crash into me as well, yeah. Please don't, though. Leave Lara alone.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah, falling off the bike here would be pretty bad. Because, whoa, he
That
went
one's
flying.
just over your head. I think he wanted to try and see if we could convert the Jeep into an airplane of some kind.
The checkpoint is quite far back at this point. I think we're nearing the end of this segment, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. We Gucci.
Please give us that checkpoint noise. There we go.
Ooh. Yeah, because these games from sort of Legend, Anniversary, Underworld, they have a checkpoint system. Again, the run is pretty marathon safe. There's a couple of dodgy checkpoints. I might make a safety save in England, because if you mess up a part of that, you get stuck in a sort of soft lock. So we sequence break a little bit in England, but other than that, it's really safe.
It's also worth noting that on the
Nice
PC
camera
version,
angle.
that's helpful. The on Legend on PC actually comes with the option to have normal content or what they call next generation content, because it came out on PS2 and Xbox 360, so cross-generational. The only problem is, on the PC version, the next generation content has a huge tendency to crash the game, so it's actually best not to use it, and that's why I would stick
QTE hype! Woo!
to it. Everyone loves QTEs.
Yeah, the next gen content does crash. It tends to crash the game quite a lot on PC, unfortunately. It looks amazing, but I would love to speedrun this game next gen.
One good thing about the QTEs is that they are always directional buttons. There's never any action buttons.
Yes.
So that's
and you can press the input, like, you can mash it before it shows up as well. You can't do that in Anniversary, unfortunately, but you can do it in this game.
Amanda's already inside and the door's sealed.
So now what?
Walls with the rocks getting colder, one way or another.
So in this section, we are, again, skipping, trying to avoid platforming where we can. There's a bunch of electric wires and stuff sticking out that we want to try and dodge.
It is much colder in here than it is outside.
It's quite incredible how much of it that the airwalking manages to avoid.
Yeah.
Especially, let's say, yeah, for the electrical cables that are supposed to try and guide you into ducking and all the other stuff.
Sure, turning on the pedal was a good idea. It's like a few things in there won't be getting the juice they need.
The heater must be one of them.
So in this section, we are going to see our old friend Amanda, who's not quite our friend anymore. So Amanda was the blonde lady that we thought died in the flashback. And it turns out she's not dead. and she's a little bit evil now.
I mean, what is it with all these Lara's friends, like, thinking they've died, and then, because we had that with Natalia in the first game,
Yeah.
where we thought, oh, she's definitely dead.
Yeah, sure, definitely dead.
Definitely dead. No, not dead. Not dead. They've come back and they're evil.
This is very 2000s, I feel like. This level is just very 2006. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
The big gun thing.
big gun, a lot of physics, and a lot of shiny greys, if you know what I mean.
More green poisonous gas. I'm going to do a safety strat here and go up the pipe so I can completely avoid all the traps in this room. Oh, maybe not.
Oh.
I wasn't quite high enough. Let's climb that again.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, we got through it.
Yeah, we're fine.
Is this an okay time for donations?
Yeah, of
I
course.
want to get this in before anyone else donates. The Warehouse 42, £5.22, attempting to help you round up in the audience. You've done it. Well done.
Have you done it? Nice.
£1,317 on the dot.
Oh.
Let's get all those meme numbers in. £6.90.
You guys can do it, I believe. I mean, God knows what's going on in this room, but we have to pull some levers, and then there is a piece of the sword fragment stuck in this machine. And when we can, we're going to grapple it out. And we just have, again, Lara isn't phased, big monster following behind her. You don't give a damn.
They gave her more polygons for the expression, but it's still the same.
That guy's trying his best, but
He's trying,
Oh,
but
doesn't
he
even
ain't doing
care.
much.
again, this is just very 2000s, I feel like. Space age, futuristic. Here we go. And on to England.
I don't know. So this level is genuinely just basically supposed to be a King Arthur like museum / theme park thing, and
Yeah.
it turns out there's an actual tomb buried underneath it.
Yeah, that's exactly it, yeah.
Some more airwalking, because why use paths? Why use stone structures?
Again, walls are just a suggestion.
All's just a suggestion.
Actually, I need to get out of the forklift. I was a bit too eager for the forklift. I need to blow up some of these boxes. There we go. Smoothest vehicle in Tomb Raider history right here. It's actually not too bad, but the camera angle can be pretty difficult to control. It's very stiff.
Seems very determined to stick behind Lara.
Yeah,
but
it
not
is
too
very
much.
determined.
It's funny though, they got Ducati and then they got Jeep. It's like, would they have got a like official forklift company to try and sponsor the forklift?
Funnily enough, I can't think of any fork.
No, I'm the same.
Right
I'm just
now.
like, are there any? Do they exist?
I don't know. I mean, they must do.
Let's say JCB. That's probably close enough.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't like the look of that. That's not a crash, is it?
Is that a crash?
There was a,
I think it might be.
oh, that was a crash.
Let me see if it's kept
There
on.
was a checkpoint, I think.
Yeah. That's never happened
Fingers
before.
crossed.
It's not
Oh
my
no,
game.
not that saying.
It's another UKSM first.
We should be good. Yeah, we're good.
All right.
How are we for time?
You are on 38 minutes, coming into
Oh.
39.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You've got about 10 minutes until security starts looking at us with evil eyes.
Why are you still going?
There's not too much of the run
Yeah.
left. It
Crashing
keeps
again?
crashing there.
I really does not like that bit.
The
does it?
PC agrees with you, clearly.
Okay.
It's all the airwalking. Now we're trying to walk through the actual game code.
Could maybe try and turn VSync on. Let's try one more time, I guess. Lara's just really attached to this forklift. She doesn't want to let it go.
I don't want to let it go. It's my friend. Well, you see what happened to all their other friends. She maybe worried it's going to turn evil. Come back and turn evil.
Don't you just love PC games?
Oh, PC gaming's the best, isn't it? Yeah!
Hardest bit of the run apparently is not getting the game to crash. Okay, I'm actually going to make a safety save here.
Maybe it was a secret QTE.
So we need to do a full damage cancel here, but we want to grab the ledge instead of hit the bottom. Like so.
Nicely done.
Thank you. England's probably the trickiest level. It's a very short level, but the out of bounds is quite particular. So I have to hit a load trigger here that's right next to this fan, unfortunately. Hopefully we got it. Yeah, we did, okay. And then I'm gonna go inbounds at this ramp. The tricky thing about airwalk sometimes is that you have to be moving constantly for it. So it can be quite difficult to get some of the setups that you would like to pause for to be able to set it up, but you can't. You have to be moving at all times.
And if at any point you stop in the void, that's like cuts you off, and then
Yeah, and we sequence broke the game there, so we hit a checkpoint and we were able to quit our machine and teleport to the other side of the gate, which skips a large part of England. So now we're on the escape sequence. I got really bad box RNG. So sometimes this box can already be here blocking off the propeller.
I wouldn't say there's that much RNG in Legend, is there, really, considering.
Oh, rip that guy.
There we go.
I'm running into the flames.
Once again, the guard's very confused about Lara hovering over their heads,
Yeah.
shooting from above. The one place we didn't expect to look up. The health plan doesn't cover neck injuries, you see, so they just weren't ready to look up at any point.
Get out of my way. Oi.
How rude. Trying to Spartan kick
Out of
it.
my way. Sorry, guys.
The dog just
Got
got...
places to be.
I think that dog was trying to enter the into Crofts. I could do a somersault.
Okay, so we have 2 levels left after this one. So we have built the majority of the sword, and there's one piece missing. And actually, I don't know if I already explained, but we're also kind of looking for Lara's mother. I don't know if you could explain that, B?
Yeah, so basically, the Crystal Dynamics first trilogy, once again with the whole idea of making Lara feel less of a loner and all that, they decided to bring her parents into it. So you've got this story about Lara's mum, who she was on a plane trip with Lara as a young kid, and it crashed in Nepal, which is where we are now. And her mother saw this thing in that we don't know at this point in some sort of tomb where the sword was, and it told her to pull out the sword or Lara would die. So she did it and disappeared, and she's never been seen since. Somehow Lara got rescued, and somehow they never really explained that. But then Lara's been looking for her mum ever since.
There you go, yeah. Yeah, that's the main plot line in this game. And I believe Lara's mother had a necklace that completes the sword, basically. Okay, so full damage cancel didn't quite work there, so we're going to try that again.
So it's like the really big heights of the skip, that the riskiest
This is
ones.
probably the hardest one.
Yeah.
Again, we're blind on the drop, so I have to sort of guess the timing of when to grapple and change weapons.
Oh.
We got this, it's fine. Third time's a charm, right?
Third time looking.
Luckily the checkpoint is right behind this drop, so it's not too big a deal.
Oh. Fourth time.
Okay, fourth time.
Fourth time's the charm, definitely. Yes!
Thank you. First try.
First time. First time. It's alright, we'll edit it in post. It'll look like you did that first time.
Yeah.
I'm just avoiding more platforming areas because, platforming, who wants to do that?
Yeah, we don't play platformers to do any platforming.
Oh, of course not.
So we can just completely ignore these mercenaries because we can go around the outside. I do have to hit a couple loading triggers. Yep, we're good.
Does the secrets run tend to be very popular on this? So?
Sorry, what did you say?
The secrets run tend to be very popular on this. So?
Not really. People do run 100%, but it's not... No, I think there's only a couple runners of it. Have you ever done a 100% run of this? Not like a speed run, but...
No, I've tried to go for some of the, because the costumes, secret costumes are
Yeah,
attached.
there's a lot of
The,
cool costume unlocks in this game.
And I think it was the first one that you could actually properly choose your costumes
Yeah.
playing levels.
One thing at a time.
So at the bottom of this, these stairs, we get the...
That's all it does.
We've got the last piece of the sword fragment, and we've built the sword now, so we have Excalibur. And we can do some cool stuff with this sword.
And obviously it's the most overpowered weapon in the game.
It's so cool. So we're going to escape Nepal. Lara, fashionably daredevil here. And then we're coming up to the last level. So we're going back to Bolivia. This is Bolivia Redux.
The hair's just doing its own thing.
And obviously, again...
I've been asked by management how long we think is left.
How long is left? Like 2 minutes?
About 2 minutes left. Almost there.
As soon as I've
Been given a thumbs up.
Okay, we can do 2 minutes. So this is the last boss. We're fighting the dragon again, but this time it's merged with Amanda. So Amanda's controlling the dragon here. Oh, I call it a dragon. It's not a dragon, but you know what I mean. Whatever this thing is.
The
mythical
darkness.
beast.
I just call it something like. It does remind me a lot of the darkness from the game, The Darkness. I don't know if you ever played that.
Yeah, so it has a few phases. Every time I go up to it and I stab it with the sword, it regens a little bit of health. I think there are 4 phases, so this is the 3rd.
But very good RNG with this boss fight so far. Sometimes not that I want
This
to
is a pretty fast fight so
Yeah.
far. So last phase now, time's coming up. As soon as I stab him for the final time. This is going to be right on time, I think.
Right on time, isn't it?
And that's time.
Time.
Woo!
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Well, as you can probably tell by that overhead announcement, the show is over.
Hey.
Thank you for coming to watch, both on stream and in person. We'll be back here 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, so please come and check us out. Good night.